Paris is a world-class city, and the Eiffel Tower is one of the most recognizable landmarks, attracting people from all over the world. I had the privilege of visiting this great place a few years ago, and it was an awesome experience. In this video, I share 5 resources for public domain images that you can use for your art project. These are completely free and legal to use, even for commercial use. Let's go. The first resource is something that if you watch this channel you've seen before. It's called pixabay.com, and Pixabay are free images and royalty free. I'm just going to type in Eiffel Tower and we'll see what comes back. As you can see here, there's a bunch of images that come back. These are all free to use. I'm just going to pop this one open as an example, and you can see here Eiffel Tower Arch, Pixabay license, free for commercial use. You just simply click this free download button here, and you can see there's different sizes that you can download. You may want a smaller picture for your website or a larger picture if you're doing a high art print. I do want to point out that there's an interesting legal issue regarding the Eiffel Tower at night. And so I'm just going to click this one here. It's a little bit of a sticky issue. I've just jumped over to the Eiffel Tower's official website. This is toureiffel.paris, and there's an article. I'll put the link in the video description below. Everything you need to know about the Eiffel Tower at night. The Eiffel Tower itself is so old that the pictures regarding it generally are in the public domain. However, the Eiffel Tower at night is because of lights, and the lights came in around 1985. You can see here December 31st, 1985. And so the lights themselves are subject to copyright. So if you have a picture of the Eiffel Tower at night, the Eiffel Tower, like the people who own the Eiffel Tower, are saying that it's copyrighted. And so it says, is it illegal to photograph the tower at night? No. Any individual can take photos and share them on social networks. However, the situation is different for professionals. So if you're doing Eiffel Tower designs, I would recommend that you stay away from doing images at night. It's one of these things that, although it'd be almost impossible for them to enforce, if they simply did a strike to Redbubble or TeePublic, they would of course honor the strike because they've got it right here on their website. So it's a little sticky issue. Now, having been said, Pixabay is, and lots of other sites have pictures at night that say they're free for commercial use. So I generally avoid nighttime pictures of the Eiffel Tower specifically. It's a gray area, and it certainly makes for interesting reading over here. The other website that I really like using is Pexels. And again, I'll put these links in the video description below. So I'm just going to type in Eiffel Tower here. Pexels are completely free to use. And what I like about Pexels is over on the right, you can click on an orientation and you can do square, vertical, or horizontal. So let's say I wanted horizontal only. I just simply click horizontal, and now everything that comes up is going to be horizontal. Again, there's some really nice high quality pictures here. I'm just going to click on, say, this one, and you can see here free download, and then you can select the image size that you would like as well. The next resource is one that I use a lot, and it's called Wikimedia Commons. A lot of people have heard of Wikipedia. However, this is Wikimedia, and by definition, the images in here are either public domain or there's some sort of Creative Commons license. And so I'll talk about that here for just a second. But first, let's jump into the category. We've got Eiffel Tower, and I'll put a link to this in the video description below. There's a bunch of different categories here, and as I scroll down, there's subcategories. So I'm just going to pop open the one here that says quality images of the Eiffel Tower. There's 92 images. So this is what the subcategory would look like. And as you scroll through, you can see there's some pretty nice high quality images. I want to point out, not all of these images are strictly in the public domain, although they have some sort of Creative Commons license. So I'll show you an example. So here is one that is the detail structure of the Eiffel Tower. This is a pretty nice high quality image. It's 4,592 by 3,056 pixels. As I scroll down, I can see the licensing. You can CC 0. CC 0 is Creative Commons, and that's universal public domain. This is what I look for. So when I see CC0, public domain, this is free to use for any reason, commercial, non-commercial, nobody cares. This person's basically thrown this picture into the public domain and said, I don't want anything to do with it. It's owned by the world. Here's another picture, similar, and this is details of the Eiffel Tower structure. And as I scroll on down, we'll see that this one is licensed. However, it's some rights reserved. So it's under Creative Commons, but it's 4. And what for means is that you have to give some attribution. So attribution, you must give appropriate credit, provide a link to the license. So I generally stay away from these. And the reason I do is because there's so many pictures of the Eiffel Tower available. I don't want the headache of having to deal with a picture where some guy could come out of the fog and say, hey, I've actually got the license to this. So when I see this sort of thing, I just move on. There's another category I want to point out, and the category is the Eiffel Tower under construction. And these are the old vintagey photographs. I'll pop open a couple of these. And most of these are in the public domain strictly because of their age. They're so old. This is a vintage photograph here, not super high quality. It's 659 by 528. And as I scroll down, we can see this is in the public domain because the copyright is expired and the author is anonymous. So these older photos are generally in the public domain and they look awesome. Even though they're not super high quality, I have blown these sort of pictures up into not a poster size, but like say an 11 by 17 print, and they look pretty nice. Here's a public domain one. And as we can see here, we're slowly building the tower. And this one here is public domain as well. So Wikimedia Commons has some great options if you're looking for vintage photographs for the actual construction of the Eiffel Tower. This last one is also on the Wikimedia Commons, but it's a completely different type of image. And these are blueprints. So I'm in Wikimedia Commons and the category is Eiffel Tower plans. And as you can see, these are pretty spectacular. These are the actual diagrams of the Eiffel Tower. So they've got technical specifications built in. It's a pretty big file, 4580 by 3194. And as I scroll on down, you can see this work is in the public domain. These are older blueprint files. Here's another one of the lattice work. And now there is a page. You can see this is a scan from a book. So you can see there's this rib right in the middle, like the spine of the book. And there's also some cleanup you'd have to do on these files. And what I mean by cleanup is you'd have to remove this out if you were going to make a true blueprint. And you'd have to sort of digitally clean up the middle of the book to remove the spine if you wanted to make one comprehensive looking picture. However, these are pretty nice. The original file is actually pretty large. I'm just going to click on it and we can see when we zoom in, it's a nice high quality scan. It's a little bit fuzzy, so if you were going to make this into a blueprint, you may want to reprint some of the actual text, but the actual picture itself is pretty high quality and it is in color as well. Here's another one of the plans of the actual, looks like the courtyard itself. So there's a whole bunch of things here. Oh no, these are the gears, sorry. So we've got some Eiffel Tower plans. This is number 42. Again, I'll click on this and we can see this is the internal workings and it's pretty cool. There's also an original scan of the book, and the website here is gallica.bnf.fr. It's a French website. I'm afraid I don't speak French very well. However, I did look in here under the About button, and we can see here its publication date is 1900, and as we scroll down, it says the rights are public domain. So here's high quality scans of the actual blueprints as well. As I scroll through, I'll just pop one open here. How about this one? And we can see here it's a page-by-page scan. So you could also just take the scans of the books and match them up as well. If these pictures are slightly better, you just simply navigate around by moving the page forward by one at a time. Or you can click the button and you can do different thumbnails as well, different thumbnail views of the book. So here, for example, we can see that I'm scrolling through each of the pages, and then I just pop open a page by clicking on it, page 101, for example. And we can see that these are pretty high quality scans of the blueprints themselves. Pretty nice if you're in the mood to make an old timey art print, and it looks like the scans here are pretty clean. In order to save it, I would just right click the image and I could do save as, or I could open the image in a new tab. If I open the image in a new tab, for example, I'll get a pretty high quality image here that I can open up in higher detail. Again, just right click on the image to scan it. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Pretty cool. Lots of ideas here for the Eiffel Tower lovers and people who want to look at old-timey prints and even some modern photographs too. Thanks a lot, everybody. Here's another video with some cool public domain resources if you're interested. And thanks a lot for watching. Take care.